It's Metal Church right here on your Classic Metal Show with Burial at Sea. And just before that, we heard some Armored Saint with some Tribal Dance. And, boy, Eric never fails to surprise.
Yeah, he seemed like he was hyped up on something, huh?
Well, it's funny because in our association with Eric over the last, I want to say 12 years.
Yeah.
You know, he's always been one of the biggest supporters of our favorite music.
Sure.
And now that era is over, it's just like, let it die already.
Yeah, he's ready to move on.
He is. He is.
I don't know what he's moving on to, but he's definitely down on all of it.
Yes. No Ozzy, no Judas Priest, no AC/DC, no Iron Maiden. I'm done.
Kill yourself if you're still out there listening to it.
Right, exactly. Well, another band that has had a very, very successful, if you want to call it a comeback, is Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
And even though it's 3/5 of the original Guns N' Roses, it's doing major numbers around the world, at least for the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. You know, they're into the almost, you know, they're creeping up toward the $500 million mark in gross sales. Amazing.
That's amazing.
It is. But I know that the offshoot of Guns N' Roses, one of your favorite, is Slash's band with Miles Kennedy.
Sure.
And the Conspirators.
I love it.
I know you do, and I know you've seen it several times.
Seen it several times. I'm going to see it again. It's one I didn't say that I was going to, but I am going to. Miles is playing a solo show at the Agora.
Nice.
November, and I'm going to that as well.
All right. Well, anyway, in this day and age with this era of all this whole Metoo stuff and everybody's apologizing and whatnot, did I just see something the other day, comedian Norm Macdonald apologizing for making jokes?
He apologized on The View, no less.
Oh, my God. And this is what this guy does. He makes jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, if you just Google Norm Macdonald, The View, it should come right up.
Okay.
Yeah, he might as well have just said, look, Joy, pull out that fucking rancid pussy of yours and let me lick on it for fucking 20 minutes. He really fucking embarrassed himself.
Well, here's the thing. These guys are apologizing for what they've made their living doing.
Yeah. That's true.
And here's the, you know, even Slash, you know, I love the classic Guns N' Roses. I do like the Miles Kennedy stuff that they do. But, you know, if you go back 30 years when Guns N' Roses were coming up, they sung about what was current with them. It was rock and roll, drugs, sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah. That's a newsflash. We were all chasing pussy in the 80s. That's what we were doing. We were chasing pussy. We were lying to chicks to get pussy. We were trying to get them drunk to get pussy. That's what we were doing. Why is that now bad to sing about it?
Well, you're not allowed to, but apparently Guns N' Roses songs like I Used to Love Her and Back Off a Bitch caused, quote unquote, allegations of sexism to be leveled at the band back in the day.
Probably did. So what?
Yeah. In a new interview, Slash admitted that he can now see why that was the case.
Oh, geez. Glad you got that epiphany, Slash. Jesus, that fucking sobriety's really bringing some clarity to your thought, huh?
Yeah, I could see now why somebody might think that.
Turn around, bitch, I got a use for you. Besides, you ain't got nothing better to do and I'm bored. You didn't see that might be a little bit sexist, dumbbell?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, come on, dude.
But he also defended the material, saying that they weren't malicious and that the Me Too movement hasn't even made him second guess their lyrics.
Well, nor should it. Why is anybody second guessing what they truly felt at a specific time in their life? I don't understand why anybody would do that. The way today is, let's face it, there's two things to think about. There's two pieces to this. First piece In today's world, some of that shit is unacceptable to the common person. Not saying me or you, but I'm saying to the average person today, sex, dirty sex talk publicly is a taboo. Do you agree with that?
Well, has it ever not been a taboo?
I'm going to say yes.
Really? When was this?
I'm going to say all through music, it has always been. In the history of rock music, there's always been tunes about getting pussy.
Well, yeah. But you just said that discussing it or talking dirty sex talk in public.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, you can go back to the 80s and find, I don't know, Erotic City by Prince or fucking these Guns N' Roses tunes or, Out to Get Me or whatever that were definitely songs about fucking. So in music, it's always been an acceptable thing, even though in today's world, it would not fly. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So
you're basically just saying that back in the day, when these songs, be it Prince or Guns N' Roses or AC/DC, or they were at the height of their popularity, that they could get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I hate this band, how many Poison songs are about fucking?
Well, pretty much most of them.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think Unskinny Bop was about? A fucking board game? It was about fucking banging a fat chick, wasn't it? Unskinny Bop? No?
Pretty much. That was pretty much, yeah.
So that's what it was. And that was a number one hit for fucking a shit band like Poison, because that's what people wanted to do.
Well, I mean, they have songs as blatant as I Want Action.
Yeah, I want action tonight. Satisfaction, all right. Meaning, I want to come on your face and tits. That's what it fucking was about.
Right.
Is that news now? What'd you think they wanted to do? Watch a fucking Marvel movie? Watch the Superman meets fucking Batman movie? You fucking jizzballs?
Well, even look what the cat dragged in. It said, I got a girl on my left, I got a girl on my right. I know damn well I slept with both last night.
Yeah. I mean, it was blatant. So there's no reason to apologize for any of it. That's what we were doing. That's what, dude. Here's a news flash, and this might be shocking to some people today. But in the 80s and 90s and 70s, we were all trying to get into every chick's pants. And we didn't care. We weren't trying to do it by honorable means. Yeah, we would do that if that came around. But let's face it, anybody other than you, because you're way more honorable than the bulk of us. But for scumbag shitbags like me, which there are more that were like me than were like you in that fucking time period, we were going to tell any chick anything we could to get our dick in their mouth. That's what we were doing. We were definitely going to tell. I can't tell you how many girls I told I think I'm falling in love with you, just because I knew I was that close to getting the pussy. And all I had to do was say, you know what, I really am starting to have feelings for you, baby. And then the next thing you know, the pants are off.
Right.
And you're getting some pussy. I wasn't falling in love with any of these bitches. I was falling in love with the idea of sticking my dick in their wet fucking sloppy hole. That was it. That was what that time period was. So to apologize for it now is ridiculous. And further, it's not even true. None of these guys that are apologizing for anything now have any different view. They really don't. None of them are like, oh, well, maybe I was being a little bit sexist here and I should have been more careful because I was unaware of how bad I was hurting people's feelings and self-esteem. Not a soul that sung a song about fucking whores feels that way. They'll say it to move product and tickets, but they do not feel that way in real life. And we know enough of these guys behind the scenes to know that that is true.
Right.
So go ahead.
I've never thought of that. It never crossed my mind, Slash said. I mean, I think when the Metoo thing really blew up, the thought crossed my mind of a bunch of musicians, not particular ones, but just musicians who might be implicated. But for the most part, as far as all the ones I know, it wasn't like that. We didn't have that particular predatory relationship with the girls.
Bullshit.
It was a lot more the other way around in some cases. Yeah, okay, groupies. Yeah.
That could be true, but...
Anyway, so some of the songs and all that were sort of sexist in their own way, but not to be taken that seriously. I don't think they were malicious or anything.
Well, I don't think they were. See, and he's right about that. They weren't malicious. That's what you did in those days. Dude, what do you, you read a lot more news than I do, and you read a lot more what these fucking jizz bucket millennials are thinking and saying. What is it that they expect if you want to go and date or get into a relationship? How does that work for them? Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. I have no idea.
I mean, why would they want to date at all if they're not trying to bang the person, that man or woman, whatever it is, that they're trying to talk to? And maybe it's just me being old fashioned, but I mean, first date always has an end game of fucking the chick, doesn't it?
Well, from my personal experience, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you're attracted to a girl because of one thing or another, and that's what it leads to.
Have you ever gone on a date, a first date that was not a setup or not somebody that you knew, like a total first date with somebody without at least a thought of, man, it might not be tonight, but I'm hoping in the next 2 weeks I fuck this girl?
Have I ever gone on a date without that thought?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's what you do. And I got to even imagine that gay dudes are the same way. They go out with a dude with the full intention of sticking their dick right up that guy's ass. Right?
Yeah, well, you would think. I can't,
I don't think they're doing it because they're looking for stimulating conversation and a place for a good meal.
Yeah, you seem like a nice fella.
Yeah, I'd really like to spend some time with you at Applebee's and really get to know you better. Nobody says that. When they get home, dude, when and especially at the 20-year-old age, 20, 21, 22-year-old age, and maybe you did this, maybe you didn't, I don't know. But when you went out on a first date with some chick, and she was pretty hot, and it went pretty well, did you not call up your buddies, and your buddies instantly start with well, do you think you're going to get to fuck her?
Yeah, or did you get some?
Yeah. Did you get some, or do you think you're gonna?
Yeah.
That was always the conversation. Still is the conversation. Honestly, I mean, I'm 50 years old, and when I talk to my friends when I go out with somebody new, that's always a part of it.
Of course.
It's never like, oh, do you think you found a nice chemistry? That's never a discussion.
Right.
It's what she looked like. Does she have big tits? Do you think you're going to fuck her?
Right.
That's just the reality of it. And I don't understand why that's bad. I don't understand why voicing that is bad. What's the problem? That chicks are thought of as a fucking fuck toy? Yes, that's your value to us. Honestly, that is your value. Your value is we're not looking for buddies. Guys have no problem finding guy friends to hang around with.
Right.
Guys don't want to hang out with girls as friends, almost never. There's a few. I mean, everybody has one. I've got one or two, that are friends that are girls that I certainly enjoy hanging around. My best friend in the world, Stephanie. And I mean, I love hanging out with Stephanie. I'm not fucking Stephanie. Would I? Of course. Absolutely I would. And because I'm a guy. If I said no, she's my friend, I wouldn't do that. That would be ridiculous. That would make me, asexual?
I don't know.
That would make me something fucking screwy, and I want to bang that one. That's for God's sakes, for sure. But, dude, that's guys aren't looking for girls to be their friends to go to fucking football games and concerts with, generally.
Right.
You're looking for puss. That's the goal. Why is that so hard to figure out?
I don't know. I think it's this idyllic world that have been fashioned lately.
Yeah.
That everybody's supposed to capitulate to this new way of thinking or whatever. I don't know what it is. It's bizarre.
I'll tell you what it is. I know what it is. It is the last 15 years of men as fathers being pussies to their wives. That's what it is. It's men not teaching their sons to be men. And that's why this is going on, because now you've got fucking this female influence on these boys. So they become men or men in age, but they don't fucking ever understand what that means. They think that means, well, you know what, everybody's an equal, and we're just gonna have fun as a group, and you know, they don't lean forward for that. They don't lean into what they should be.
Right.
In my eyes.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give you an example of something that happened today. Just in my mind today.
All right.
Today I saw something where I'm not going to get into real specifics here, but somebody who's related to me.
Okay.
Basically announced or advertised that he has engaged his girlfriend.
Okay, got engaged?
Yes.
Okay.
And the first thing that went through my mind was not, oh, hey, great, congratulations. It was like, oh, no.
Is this somebody I know?
No, you don't.
All right. How old? Give me a window.
24.
24? And engaged?
Yes.
Has he had a shit ton of girls in front of this?
I don't know. I'm not that close. I don't know what the history is at all.
All right. I don't know this guy. I don't know this girl. 24, divorced by 31. You think I'm wrong?
I have no idea.
If you had to guess.
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I really don't. But
if you were paying $1,000 and you had to bet, which side would you bet? Still married at 31?
I'm going to say still married.
Really?
Yeah, just because I know the background and the parents and stuff.
Okay.
But, you know, a lot of people, I don't know if it's sincere reaction or if it's just what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
Where people go, oh, hey, congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore.
Well, I've never done that.
Yeah. I used to. I used to think it was a building block step. But instead, it's just a blockhead move.
Well, but the thing is this literal sense of like dread and oh no came over me.
Of course, yeah.
I was just like, oh no.
Dude, if there was a way, I wish there was a way to do it, and there probably is with like Google Glasses or some shit. What you need to do is get somebody that gets married and make them for the 5 years, 24/7, wear Google Glasses so you can follow them around in their day-to-day life and just keep tabs on how much shit they have to cave into in order to have a semi-peaceful fucking life. And I'm talking semi, not even good. Because, and we've said this before on the show, and I think we both agree on this, the best relationship, whoever it is that you know that's in a marriage, still has to cave in and sacrifice what you want at least 50% of the time, if not more. Or else you're fighting.
Yep.
And who wants to do that? Why would anybody want to? I want to turn this fan on because I want it to be cool. Or think even like it's sleeping at night. You sleep with a TV on, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I do.
So with you sleeping with a TV on, if you end up with one of those chicks that sleeps in silence,
yes,
then what? You're going to fucking not sleep as well as you should for the rest of your life when you're married. Because you're not winning that argument.
No,
she's not going to even remotely attempt to fucking adjust to you sleeping with that fucking TV on. You're either going to throw headphones on and sleep uncomfortably. That was the Chris Aiken move, by the way. Or you're just not going to sleep, which was also the Chris Aiken move, by the way. That's why I fucking was always awake till fucking 5 o'clock in the morning, because she would get up and then I could finally go to bed for 2 hours. And I would take 2 hours of sleep. Because at least then I could have a fucking radio on. Bitch.
But yeah, you're right. It doesn't go your way.
And that's just one example. I mean, think about it, dude. Every example. What if she likes spicy food and you don't? You think she's going to come home and when she's cooking a dinner not make spicy food? Or is she going to think, well, you'll just fucking adjust to it?
Right.
She going to make you a separate plate, or is she just going to make, well, that's what I made, fucking eat it?
Yeah, well, a good one would make you a separate plate, but you don't find that many good ones.
Yeah, there's none of those. Those don't exist. Let me tell you how that works in reality. At first, she'll make you a separate plate. But once the fucking haircut comes and the fucking sweatpants get on, then she doesn't give a fuck. Then she's not going to be making you a separate plate. And she's going to be like, if the kids can fucking eat it, so can you.
Right.
I went through a phase in my marriage, and I won't say who did the cooking, but it wasn't me or my kids, where she got into a tofu phase.
Okay.
And everything was fucking tofu.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to eat this bullshit. Well, you're eating it because that's what I made. All right. So now I'm fucking wolfing down plate after plate of dog shit, because that's what she was fucking making. So every day at dinner time was a compromise that I lost on.
Of course.
That's what you're buying when you get fucking married. You're buying into a fucking situation where you're consistently compromising. Constantly, no matter what. And no matter how many things you think you have in common with your chick when you get married, believe me, they're all going away.
Of course.
Those fucking girlfriends start chirping in their ear about the things that their husband does that you don't. Oh, my God. Look out. I'll give this example. I was never and never will be fucking home fix-it guy. My idea of home fix-it is save up some money and call somebody to fucking fix it. I'm not doing any of that shit. Well, anytime some fucking bitch would chirp in her ear about, oh, you're not going to believe my husband put up new cabinets for me, then I would just have to hear, how long do we have to have these same old tired, ugly cabinets? Fucking Rob put up cabinets, and he didn't even bitch about it.
Right.
He just did it. It's like, you know what? That's fucking Rob. You should be sucking his cock. You're sure not sucking mine enough. Jesus fucking Christ. That's marriage, my friends.
Yes.
And tell your friend or relative or whoever that's 24 to listen to this segment.
Right.
That is what he's walking into. And don't even be fooled and think that you're not.
Right. Well, I got a good one for you.
All right.
And I know this, it just, I don't know. I don't want to call it an epiphany,
okay.
but it was something that became so clear to me. Mm-hmm. Over Labor Day.
Right.
So over Labor Day, I went out when my oldest sister has a farm.
Okay.
It's about an hour or so drive from here.
Okay.
And my nephew, who goes to a lot of shows with me.
Yeah.
It's his parents.
Okay.
So he's got a brother who's married.
Okay.
And he's got a couple of young children.
Mm-hmm.
And so being this farm is rather large, you can go out there with some guns and shoot at targets.
Right.
And not worry about, being concerned about a stray bullet hitting a neighbor's house or something.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
So my nephews are both into guns. They're both into handguns and, rifles and things.
Sure.
So their son is, I think he's like 7. I think he's 6 or 7.
Okay.
Well, he bought him a small .22 rifle, single shot bolt action rifle.
Nice.
Just to get started.
Right.
And it's just a little rifle. It's probably no more than 3 feet long.
Right.
It's just small enough for a little guy.
Okay.
So it was brand new, still in the box. Thought this would be a good day to come out and teach him how to use it.
Right.
Then my other nephew, he brought out he purchased a couple of guns, and as a gift, supposed gift, they gave him a 22 15 shot 22 pistol.
Okay, wow, nice.
Yeah, so he brought that out.
Okay.
And had I known, I would have taken my 9 out there with me, but I didn't know these guys were bringing guns.
Right.
So we just thought, okay, after dinner, we're going to go out and shoot targets.
Yeah, cans or targets.
Well,
or whatever.
exactly. And my nephew, he had a case of skunky beer.
Okay.
So we were shooting full cans of beer.
Right, blowing them up.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's me, my 2 nephews, my brother-in-law, their father. We're all out back shooting guns.
Okay.
Well, guess who should come out?
The chick.
The young daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she's I think, I'm trying to remember who's older. I think she's older. But anyway, she's like a year or so older, I think.
So she's what, like 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she wants to shoot guns, which is fine.
Yeah.
And so everybody was taking turns.
Okay.
You know, my nephew, he'd shoot off 15 rounds with the handgun, and then I'd pass it off to, you know, he'd pass it off to me, and then I'd pass it off to the brother-in-law, and we'd all take turns.
Yeah.
And the kids were shooting the rifle, and they were taking turns.
Okay.
Well, anytime her brother got the rifle and it was his turn, she would start bitching immediately.
Yeah, of course.
Right away. Well, you know, I didn't get to shoot, you know, whatever, you know, and it was a problem.
Right.
You know, so whenever she had it, they'd let her shoot 2 and 3, you know, rounds. And then it would come back to somebody else. Well, the minute he shot 1 or 2 rounds, she went, what's my turn now? I get to shoot, you know, immediately. And then just the constant complaining.
Yep.
You know, all the guys standing around just being cool. Here's the gun. Take your shot. Okay, cool. You know, you put that one chick in the mix, and she's not even 8 years old yet, and it just destroys everything.
Yeah, well, she's been raised that she's the queen.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's amazingly bad.
You know, but as soon as she went in the house, everything was good.
Everybody's having fun again.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Dude, that's what it is. And I'm certainly not saying that all chicks are fucking awful.
No, that I know what you're saying, but your point, and I think my point is that you throw a chick in the mix, it just poisons the whole chemistry.
It does, because you can't really. A chick has to be a very specific type of chick to hang in most situations with guys. And generally, it's got to be one that cannot be offended by anything. And it's brutal, man, because there's so few of those that are out there. You know, but relationship-wise, it's so much worse. I mean, you're doing it on a brother-son or brother-daughter relationship. Being in a marriage, you know, and let's face it, the girls know once you fucking buy the ring that they got the anchor. They got the anchor. It's like, you know, they know that they can be the biggest cunt in the fucking world, and you won't just walk away, because you got to think about, my God, Monday morning till Wednesday at noon before I start making $1 for myself. You know, if you walk away.
Right.
If you walk away from your chick, those first 2.5 days are hers.
Right.
So do you really want to work 2.5 days a week to pay some cunt that you hate? Not many guys do. That's why what's the saying? Cheaper to keep her?
Well, yeah, it's like, you know, paying alimony is like buying oats for a dead horse.
Yeah, it is. Or a horse that you want dead. That's really what it comes down to. It's more like a horse that keeps grazing in your fucking backyard. That's really what it is. Right. It's not a dead horse at all. It's very lively. Somebody else gets to ride it all the fucking time, but you get to feed it. That's fucking disturbing. You know, it's like, go make your own money, you bitch.
All right, getting back to the whole Slash thing.
All right.
The guitarist said he also sees a correlation between more enlightened approach toward women in lyrics today.
Stop it, Slash.
Enlightened approach.
Enlightened for who?
And the decline of the rock and roll attitude that was offered by GNR and their contemporaries decades ago.
Really? Because now with all these enlightened bands, name 2 that are popular. Name two that are successful with this enlightened approach, Slash.
Enlightened approach.
Are there two bands that are popular that have this enlightened approach that are not female fronted? Are there two rock bands today?
None that I can think of.
What, Greta Van Fleet? They're not huge.
No, not yet. I don't know what kind of trajectory they'll have. I mean, right now they're kind of a hot item.
Yeah, they're gonna peter out because they're still a gimmick after all.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. They're a hot item currently.
Rival Sons. I'm just trying to think of who's even popular in rock. There's really nobody, is there?
No.
There's just no real big rock bands and then to hear them singing about, take care of my girl because she's equal to me. That's the message that I want to see, or whatever. Can't even imagine what enlightened approach Slash would have lyrically. I mean, what the fuck would that be?
Right.
Ugh.
That sort of spirit isn't still around, Slash noted. It's still inherent in metal bands. It's still inherent in young bands who have something that they want to express that maybe they're not having the easiest time dealing with. But that attitude is really not something fabricated. And so right now at this particularly point in time, a lot of bands or a lot of artists are doing a lot of different things, and not much of it is really rock and roll. There's nothing to rebel against. I think trying to figure out how to have the attitude in your music and song and so forth is probably difficult for a lot of young bands, because now it's about politics again. So we'll see what this turns into.
Yeah, that is an interesting point. That there really, other than politics, there's nothing else to be pissed about.
No.
Because everything's political today. But interestingly enough, political is such an easy fucking thing that nobody gives it any weight. Nobody gives any of these bands that are singing political songs one way or the other. None of them are getting any love. Nobody's saying, "Oh, what a gutsy move," calling out Donald Trump or calling out Nancy Pelosi or whatever. Nobody's thinking that.
No, because that's kind of low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's like, you trend jumping bitch.
Yeah, there's really nothing. There's nothing that compelling about that.
Yeah.